Hi, my name is Nick. I am a brewer here at Blind Enthusiasm, and I am also a member of the band Shout Out 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 Out. All right, this is the Shout Out 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 20th anniversary blend. It is a 2-year spontaneous beer spiced with pink peppercorns. Well, I got into brewing like a lot of people in this industry. I got into it through home brewing. I was a beer fan and a beer enjoyer, and started home brewing, as did Jason actually in our band as well. Jason was also a home brewer. And I just kind of have a tendency to take hobbies and turn them into careers. I really tend to go overboard on things I'm into and really obsess over them, go farther and farther. As a home brewer, I was entering homebrew competitions and winning some medals and that kind of thing. And then I started hanging around breweries, I guess, and brewing some of my recipes with other breweries, and just getting some experience on the commercial side of brewing, and then wound up running with that, and it turned into a job, and I started brewing professionally. For me, the transition, I am a musician, and I obviously play in this band, but I'm mainly a studio guy. I've been working professionally in audio since 1998, doing recording, producing, and more recently mastering. I still do a lot of mastering work. It's a second job for me. And brewing made sense to me in a lot of ways through parallels to music and studio work. I find that beer fans are quite similar to music fans. Beer releases are similar to record releases. The breweries are similar to record labels. Even on the manufacturing side, the way hoses are routed and liquid is moved around the brewery is not that different from how audio is moved around a studio through cabling and patch bays and that sort of thing. And a lot of those parallels just made sense to my brain, so it made the transition between those two roles kind of make sense to me anyway. I also find, even with beer tasting, I find a lot of parallels to audio. I think of, acidity or tartness as being high end. I think of, maltiness and body as sort of being mid-range, roastiness as base, that kind of thing. Like I tend to think about flavor in terms of audio, just because I have so much experience with audio. Our band, Shout Out 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 Out, a couple years ago now, celebrated the 20th anniversary of our band. And I had mentioned that this was coming up to Doug, the head brewer, and he suggested that I, with the band, come up with a blend to celebrate that milestone, I guess. And we talked about a few different ideas of what to do. One thing that has always kind of been important to me about the band is that we were playing fun, dancey music, but we had sort of a lyrical, more serious tone, kind of darker side to the band, I guess. And I really liked that juxtaposition. I was trying to think of how I could have something with this beer that would have this interesting multi-layered aspect to it. And one of the ideas I came up with was to spice the beer with pink peppercorns. And Doug liked that idea as well. And so we decided to proceed with that. I personally have a particular affinity for our younger fermentations. I really like when our beers have been in barrel for 1 or 2 years. They have they can often have sort of a fruity ester note to them that really appeals to me. So this beer, we picked out some barrels that were all 2-year fermentation barrels. So this is a spontaneous beer that's been fermented 2 years in bottles. Those barrels were blended and then spiced with pink peppercorns. And we did several trials of quantity of peppercorns and duration of time where the beer was in contact with those peppercorns, and found the sweet spot. And we brought in the other band members also at that point to participate in those trials and get their opinions on which version of that spice dosing felt right, and we all agreed on something, and then we bottled the beer and waited a couple years, and here we are.